Everyone's talking about Clubhouse. Clubhouse has great potential, like many social platforms, but it's what you do with it that really makes the difference. So if you're really into leveraging a social platform, I wanted to give you a little bit of a mini case study so you can see how I leveraged it. I reached out to Andy Foote and Cher Jones, two people who I respect and admire and who have a similar kind of vibe and a sensibility. We're all a bit rebellious, a bit defiant, definitely rule breakers. And I said, how are we going to bring this all together? So we talked and we decided, why don't we create a room? And so we created a room. After brainstorming, we came up with this idea and it became Business Rebels Club. Okay, we wanted to definitely attract rebels and appeal to rebels and talk about things that might not otherwise be talked about. And we developed the slogan, brand, crush, repeat, right? Brand, crush, repeat. So that's like catchy, sticky. And then, of course, how do we promote this so as to drive eyeballs to it? Because yes, you can grow it organically, sure. But at the same time, you can also drive eyeballs to it and use the social platforms to kind of play with it and do all that kind of fun stuff. That's where, of course, I come in. That's my sweet spot. Cher Jones, who has a weekly LinkedIn Live, has a little feature in her weekly LinkedIn Live that is called Scroll Stopper. And she'll highlight something that she found was really stopped you from scrolling in your news feed, and you'd actually go ahead and stop. Well, she was so blown away by what a promotion that I had put together for our Business Rebels Club on Clubhouse that she ended up doing this.
Today's scroll stopper is something that I don't care if this doesn't catch your attention, I don't know what will. Look at this awesomeness, and see whose face is right up on Mount Rushmore. Yeah, me. So let's talk about this. And this is not just because I'm on it, although listen, David Breyer, you did a fantastic job with this. So he created this. He's just like, guys, send me a straight on shot of your face. We're like, okay. And we do it, right? We're just listening. And this is what he created. Like when you're scrolling by, just lightning alone. Like, let's just talk about the lightning. So let's give the roses where they belong. Give me 1 second. And this is who we're talking about. David Breyer, he's Google's #1 rebranding expert. He's a slayer of mundane, liberator of awesome, advisor to CEOs, and author of Amazon's branding bestseller, Brand Intervention. He's responsible for $2 billion with a B in sales, and he's a keynote speaker. And also, as you can see, Brand Crush Repeat. Today, we actually talked about branding lust metrics. So that was me, David, and Andy Foote, who was in the comments. So this was a fantastic conversation. As you can see, a President's Day special session, Tuesday, noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, for the Business Rebels Club over on Clubhouse. So let's talk about this, shall we? One word, lightning. Is this not working for you or what? Like, how can you not? Like, look how fire that looks, right? Oh my gosh, I can't even stop looking at it. It looks that good. All right. Second thing, here's where you get in. In the Washington, that's what I'm talking about. In the Washington spot, no less. Exactly, Tim. I got the #1 spot. I'll take it, right? But I love the fact that, again, the President's Day Newsjack, love it. And not only did he run with it, David ran with that. He took the ball, he took it all the way to the goal. And I love it. And so newsjacking, for those of you who are not used to that term, so let me just come back to you for a second. Newsjacking is where you're taking something that people are talking about, could be a story in the news, or it could be, again, something that a holiday or anything like that, and bringing it into your post so that you can kind of co-opt that into what you're doing. So I hope that helps. All right, so let's get back to this, right? So the next thing, love the artwork. As I said, love the colors, everything like that. And now let's just go into the post itself. because the copy was also on fire too, and I don't want to get lost in just that incredible image. So join Cher Jones and Andy Foote and me as we get, in quotes, presidential in the Clubhouse, discussing what's never, all caps never, been discussed in the Oval Office. The topic: branding, lust, and metrics. Which ones to love and which to avoid. Some metrics tease, others metrics please. We discuss which is which and which to avoid like the plague. It's tomorrow, Tuesday, noon Central, 1 p.m., blah, blah, blah. So what was awesome with that is he definitely gets you with the intrigue and the fascination. We're going to talk about stuff that was never talked about in the Oval Office. So even connecting again back to the Newsjack, right? And very cleverly written copy without being over the top, because that's the fine line of when you get good stuff. It's like some people take it to the next level where it gets corny. David knows how to walk that line. And if you talk to him, which I spend a lot of time talking to him these days, and Andy, and we are just always collaborating. So this is an example of a collaboration where all of the work is not dependent on one person, but you bring in the right minds and the right mix. So going back to what I was talking about before, even as an introvert, as long as you communicate that with your partners up front, or your partners that you're an introvert, they'll know how to work with you, but you know what your job is, right? Anyways, so David he is like a word slayer. So is Andy, by the way, but David did this work. So I'm throwing the scroll stopping love over to you, David, because you rocked it. And he is a creative genius. I agreed. And is definitely attention grabbing. So I hope you guys like that. I hope you learned from it. Again, the newsjacking, obviously awesome 3D sort of graphic style with the lightning. There are ways to do this, my friends. You gotta work it out.
I kind of compare Clubhouse to being a combination of live radio and walkie-talkie all sandwiched into one. I think that gives you a pretty good idea of what you can do if you really look at how do I leverage a brand? How do I build a brand around anything, a social platform, a space, a clubhouse, a whatever, right? So this could have just been another room like any other room, or now it is the Business Rebels Club. Brand, crush, repeat. And it's very exciting. I want to thank Andy. I want to thank Cher for their energy and their love of rebelliousness and defiance. I hope this has been an educational insight into what you could do on your social platforms. There you go. Keep rocking.